Hi, good evening, all of you, once again. So, today's book of interest is Dostoevsky's Idiot. Uh, what is beauty? True art, true beauty, all these are elusive terms. True art, true beauties, all these are elusive terms. Socrates called beauty a short lived tyranny. Plato calls it a privilege of nature. Theophrastus a silent cheat. Theocritus a delightful prejudice. Carneades calls it a solitary kingdom of God. Aristotle, it was better than all the letters of recommendations. Homer, it was a glorious gift of nature. Ovid calls it was a favor bestowed upon by gods. John Keats says beauty is truth, truth, beauty. But Dostoevsky tells us that beauty will save the world. What kind of beauty Dostoevsky is talking about? It so happened that Dostoevsky was once invited by one of his friends, whose name I have forgotten somehow, to a painting exhibition. So there he saw a crucified Christ. A Christ was crucified. And that painting had a profound effect on the overall psychology of Dostoevsky. He said that he thought, he writes, Dostoevsky writes that, he thought that what kind of man Christ was. He was such a beautiful soul. And then he thought that if a truly beautiful Christ-like figure would ever come again to this earth, how he will suffer, how he will interact with the evils in the world, what kind of destiny or fate awaits him at the end. And then Dostoevsky writes that my idea is to portray a truly beautiful soul, a Christ-like figure with genuine compassion and genuine empathy. Okay, devoid of any material construct, devoid of any cunningness. And there the idea of, that is how the idea of idiot, arose. That is the main theme of Idiot. So today I am going to elaborate on this book, The Idiot by Dostoevsky. And yes, beauty will save the world, but what kind of beauty? And what fate awaits that so-called beauty in Dostoevsky's sense of the term? So this is a beautiful book, The Idiot by Dostoevsky. And no wonder the book title is The Idiot, and the main character is Prince Miskin. So in a world where the good and the evil are so polarized, and they are not only polarized, but the good is misunderstood as idiotic, and the evil is understood or is accepted as market ready, street smart. Okay, so Dostoevsky is the answer, and that is why we are supposed to read The Idiot. Well, I would like to draw one more parallel. So Dostoevsky says that such kind of figure would suffer, because in a world where the sinners are out on rampage, how such kind of a beautiful Christ-like figure will be received? At the end, if the sinners are, the world is full of sinners, the world is full of evil, the world is full of marketing agents and such kind of people who are ruthlessly cruel in their approach. So such kind of man, if ever he would come to earth, will end up in a sanatorium, will end up in a mental asylum. And no wonder Idiot is about that. I'd also like to draw, in order to understand Dostoevsky, it's important to read one small excerpt from Muktibodh, Claude Etherly, where two people are talking. Let me read it verbatim. And the first person asks the other person that what kind of people are mad, and if you are going to see those mad people in so and so asylum, who are those so-called mad people? So here goes, I'm reading it verbatim from Muktibodh's Claude Etherly. So पहला बंदा दूसरे बंदे से बोलता है कि उस पागल खाने में ऐसे कई लोग डाल दिए गए हैं जो सचमुच आज की निगाह में बड़े पागल हैं, लेकिन उन्हें पागल कहने की इच्छा रखने के लिए आज की निगाह होना ज़रूरी है। फिर पहला बंदा बोलता है, दूसरा बंदा बोलता है कि आज की निगाह से क्या मतलब। तो दूसरा बंदा उसकी आंखों में आंखें डालकर उसने कहना शुरू किया कि जो आदमी आत्मा की आवाज़ कभी कभी सुन लिया करता है और उससे बयान करके उसे छुट्टी पा लेता है, वो लेखक हो जाता है। जो आत्मा की आवाज़ को लगातार सुनता है और कहता कुछ नहीं, वो भोला भाला सीधा साधा बेवकूफ़ है। जो उसकी आवाज़ बहुत ज़्यादा सुना करता है और वैसे करने लगता है, वो समाज विरोधी तत्वों में यूं ही शामिल हो जाया करता है। लेकिन जो आदमी आत्मा की आवाज़ ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा सुन के बेचैन रहा करता है और उस बेचैनी में भीतर के हुक्म का पालन किया करता है, वो निहायत पागल है। पुराने ज़माने में संत हो सकता था, आजकल उसे पागल खाने में डाल दिया जाता है। एंड दैट इज़ द क्रक्स ऑफ द इडियट। The world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. The character of Prince Miskin lives up to this ideal. The world was never meant for someone as beautiful as Prince Miskin. And that is how, because of this great biblical theme, we need to read Idiot. And in the end, I mean, Dostoevsky talks about all kind of beauty, all kind of love. And of course with the reference to biblical literature. But at the end, okay, like any paradigmatic figure, be it, was it Plato, be it Jesus Christ, be it Lord Buddha, be it Confucius, okay, Miskin failed to redeem the world of its sin and of its sinners. And at the end, completing a full circle, Miskin again returns back to Switzerland in a mental asylum. And at the end, the characters were devastated. The world was remain unchanged as it was. Buddha returned to his heavenly abode. Plato returned to his heavenly abode. So does Christ. And the world is completely unchanged. But to say that the idiot was the journey of Prince Miskin was a failure, I think would be a little extreme and far-fetched. I think yes, Dostoevsky's Idiot, those who still care to read, has a profound effect on all of them. And I think in order to understand beauty and what we have lost in the world, so ruthlessly cruel and so dumbing us down to death because of this materialistic and marketing holocaust and a world completely devoid of any eternal values, Idiot is the solace, Idiot is the atonement. That is why Idiot has to be read. So please read it. Thank you.